Hey there, I'm Ladianne. I'm at WoolTribe Studio, and I want to tell you how to easily do the mattress stitch. If you have knit a sweater in pieces or sometimes other kinds of garments, there may be seaming that needs to be done. And oftentimes the pattern will say to seam the pieces together. It might not tell you what kind of seaming to use, or it might say using the mattress stitch. So let's take a look at this. I've got a swatch here. I'm going to flip it over so you can see it. It's just a stockinette swatch out of worsted weight yarn. And I'm pretending that this is a side seam of a sweater. In another video, I've shown you how to figure out which end is the cast on edge and which is the bind off edge. I've got the cast on edge down here. The bind off edge is at the other end. And I want these two ends to line up really nicely. I've taken some worsted weight yarn, a fairly decent length of yarn, and I've threaded it through a tapestry needle. I'm going to come down to this end, and let me zoom this in so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, I've come down to this end and I have found the column of stitches that makes up the selvage. The selvage is the edge of the fabric. It's that last column of stitches at the edge. I'm going to go down to the very base of the selvage on the left side. And now I will say this too, if you're seaming a sweater, you very likely already would have woven in your yarn tails. So just ignore this yarn tail. I use this swatch for demonstration purposes only. So I've come down to the bottom of this column of stitches, and between the last stitch at the bottom of the first column and the stitch at the bottom of the next column, I'm going to come up through the fabric and pull that yarn almost all the way through until I have a yarn tail, enough of a yarn tail that I can weave it in later. So here's how much yarn tail I left there. Now I'm going to take my needle. I'm going to go to the other piece that I'm attaching. Again, I'm going to find that column of stitches that makes up the selvage. It's right here. I'm going to go to the bottom, find the space between the bottom stitch on that selvage column and the next stitch on the fabric and go up through that. Now I'm going to go back to that first side and go back up through the exact same hole that I went through the first time. And the reason I'm doing this, and you'll see it here, is it creates a figure 8. You see that? And that's what's going to help us line up the bottoms of these pieces of fabric so it doesn't look wonky when you get done seaming it. I'm not going to pull them super tight. And just a note here, as you're seaming, don't cinch it down every time you make a stitch. It will be very difficult for you to get through and make it look neat. Do a section of it and then pull it tight and see how it looks. And then you can continue on or make adjustments if you need to. So let's keep doing the mattress stitch here. I've got that figure 8 at the bottom, and I'm going to begin the actual mattress stitching by going back down through the hole on the right side. And if you look, there's a bar between, let me get that bar. There's a bar between the stitches. So here's a V stitch right here. There's another V stitch right there. And between them, there's a bar. I'm going to catch that bar with my needle and pull the yarn through. Then I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. Needle goes down through where the yarn came out before. I'm going to find the bar between the stitches and pull the yarn through. So we're going to continue in that way, down through where we were before, underneath the bar to catch it, go to the other side, down through where the yarn was, under the bar and catch it. I'm going to keep on doing this for an inch and a half or so, and then I'm going to show you what happens when you cinch it. We have a couple of sayings at WoolTribe Studio. One of them is blocking is sexy. That's one thing you do need to make note of, is before you seam, it's much easier to seam something if you've blocked the pieces so they're nice and flat. And then we also say that seaming is magical. And the reason we say that is this. I've now done the mattress stitch along a section. I'm going to go back and grab that yarn tail that I started with. I'm going to hold on to it firmly. I'm going to grab the other end and watch what happens when I pull. no matter what color you use, that's all going to disappear. And the only thing you're going to see on here is that little bit at the bottom. So if you've used the same color, that'll be gone too. So that's how you do the mattress stitch. You would continue on, and I generally pull a section at a time just to make sure it stays neat. I hope that made mattress stitching easy for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave questions and comments down below. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more tutorials. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one.